First up, if you don't know what a Facebook pixel is, that is how, like you've heard of cookies, so Google has cookies, Facebook has pixels, and that is the little piece of code that you put onto your website or your landing pages that allows Facebook to track your visitors all over the web and allows us then to do heaps and heaps of sexy things on Facebook to put our adverts in front of the right people. Okay, so that's a tiny little bit of background. So here's a landing page. Now I have got a Facebook pixel on this landing page, and let's also assume that I am running Facebook traffic, so Facebook advertising from Facebook to the landing page. Okay, so there are two things I want to know that happen on this page. What do you think the two things are? Let's start with the thing number one. What's the first thing I'm going to want to know about this page regarding, I don't want to use the correct word because it'll just give it away, regarding my Facebook pixel. Anybody that's in my inner circle should get this immediately. What's the first thing I want to track? That's a good way of putting it. What's the first thing I'm going to want to track on this page? Visitors. Good. Who comes to the website? Great. All right, so visitors. So the first thing my Facebook pixel does is it makes a note of all the people who arrive on the landing page. So it tracks that, and they're called visitors. So it tracks my visitors. So from those visitors, I've then got the option of doing two things. I can create an audience of my visitors and put another offer in front of them on Facebook. Hey, you visited my probiotics for dogs page. Maybe you're also interested in buying my dog leads or my dog bowl too, sort of thing. So I could do that. I can also take my custom audience of people who've arrived on my landing page, and I can build something called a lookalike audience from them. So what that does is it gets Facebook to look at everybody who's landed on your landing page, who's visited your landing page, and then to look at all of the people on Facebook, and Facebook says to itself, how are the people who have visited this landing page similar to other people on Facebook, and let's find a group of people who are very, very similar who haven't been to the landing page yet, so we can tell them about the landing page too. So that's basically what's happening when you build a lookalike audience. Really, really cool. I get crazy results from lookalike audiences on Facebook. So that's one level. Okay, visitors. Now, what's the other thing? What's the other action? Better use of words. What's the other action on this page that I want to know about? What's the other action on this page that I want to know about? What do you reckon that is? So I already know who's visited the page. That's great. Awesome. Good stuff. But what's the other thing I want to know about? Like when they visit, I want to know something else. What do I want to know? Which one converts? Click-throughs. Good. My inner circle friends. All right, click-throughs. Now I'm going to tell you why you can't do sales in a second. Okay, so click-throughs. So I can also track who clicks this big add to cart button just here. So I can also track that. The people who click that add to cart button, I then make the assumption that they are going to my Amazon website to potentially go and buy my product. Now, I don't know for sure because I can't track conversions on Amazon with Facebook. However, it's a pretty good assumption that if they're trying to add my product to cart here, when I take them to my Amazon listing, it's still there. When I take them to my Amazon listing, it's a good chance that they're also going to buy the product now on Amazon, okay? So you make that leap of faith, you make that extrapolation, and by doing so, that gives you some new data. Because what you've now got, instead of one audience, you've got two audiences. You've got the audience that visit but don't convert, that don't click, and you've got the audience that visit and click. So you've now got two very, very different groups of people you can now go to on Facebook. So here's how you handle them. The people that come to your website, they visit your website, but don't click the button, we go back to them and say, hey, here's a 10% discount for our product to go and now buy the product. So you've already seen the product, you didn't buy it, but so here's 10% off, please go buy it. So we can now do that, which is cool. But we can also then say the people that did visit and did click, we're not going to put, of course, a 10% discount offer in front of them because we'll piss them off, royally piss them off if we do that. They'll be like, I've just purchased this and you give me 10% off? I purchased it at full price. What the heck? So you don't want to do that. So you can take them out and you can now offer them something else. Hey, you just purchased our probiotics for dogs. Why not think about getting our newfangled dog bowl for your golden retriever, for instance? So you can treat them very, very differently. It allows you to do targeted advertising that puts relevant messages in front of your audience, and that's where we're trying to get to. We're trying to get relevant messages in front of our audience. When you put a message in front of somebody that they're not at all interested in, you just piss them off. And any time, like I was talking to my wife the other day, and she told me she was out on her bike doing some exercise and she got a wolf whistle. Now, I know, my wife's beautiful to look at. It's hardly surprising other guys find her attractive. I know there's two kinds of wolf whistles that she gets. One from men that she finds attractive, and one from men that she doesn't find attractive. Now, the men she doesn't find attractive, they're instantly labeled sleazy, and the ones that she does find attractive, well, that's a nice compliment to get. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a pretty weird example, but it's in my mind, and we talked about it earlier this morning on our morning walk. And it's the same with marketing. So if you put a message in front of somebody and they're not at all interested in the product, then that's a bad message. They think that that's a sucky idea. Okay, it's not good. But if you put a message in front of them for a product they are interested in, then you're helping them out, and that's good marketing. That's good advertising. Okay. Yes, my examples are a bit weird, I know. So I hope that makes sense, Kate. I use this all the time. And it is really, really good. Here's another thing to think about as well. Let's just go a little bit deeper, okay? So we're at level 1 now. Let's go level 2. So now let's think about the different quality of the people who've landed on your page. So now let's say we've had 1,000 people land on this page, and now we're talking about stuff I talk about in my inner circle, okay? So stick with me. We've had 1,000 people visit this page. 100 of them have clicked on our add to cart link, and 900 of them have not clicked on the link. They simply got off the page. They weren't interested, okay? So what that now tells me is I've now got 100 high quality people who I can now build a custom audience with. Now, when you build a custom audience on Facebook, you get a few different options. So what you get is Facebook says to you, would you like to build a very narrow custom audience or a very broad custom audience? Well, turns out the higher quality of people you put in to the beginning of that custom audience, lookalike audience process, the broader the universe of Facebook users you can go out to and get better results. Meaning, These 100 people can form the basis of being able to go to an audience on Facebook of 500,000 people, and you'll still get great results. You'll still get great results. But if you take the 900 people who landed on the page but didn't take the action, didn't click the link, and build a custom audience out of those and then a lookalike audience out of them, you have to keep it very, very narrow. Otherwise, you're pissing in the wind. Your ads do not work at all. So that's another level of understanding about that process for you too. Hope that helps. I do not use ClickFunnels. There's absolutely no need to have ClickFunnels at all. I'm sure it's a great piece of software, but you just do not need it. I am a big believer, much to the chagrin, I am sure, of a lot of people, in keeping it as simple as possible. Complexity is a killer in business. You want to keep it as simple as possible. And so I keep things as simple as I possibly can. Because, here's an interesting thing, whilst I may understand very quickly how to use ClickFunnels and how to optimize for ClickFunnels, the people I employ in my business will not. And I have to consider not only my own skills, but the people I'm employing and their aptitude towards what I'm showing them as well. So I want to get my business to the point where the systems I have in place mean that even unsophisticated marketers can make it work based on the simplicity of what I'm doing. That's the point I try and get to. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.